Hey, what's up, everybody? If you're enjoying the video, please hit that subscribe button and give a thumbs up. And don't forget to ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. It really helps support the channel and allows me to keep creating content for you guys.
My life with Joon-ho. It began like a dream. Remember those perfect spring days, when the air smells like cherry blossoms and everything feels possible? That was us. We built a cozy little world, brick by brick, filled with laughter and whispered promises. We painted our apartment walls a soft, hopeful yellow, the color of sunshine we thought would always be ours. We talked about everything, our dreams, our fears, even silly things like what kind of dog we'd get someday. Everything felt aligned. Perfect. Foolish, wasn't I? To believe in perfection. It started subtly, like a tiny crack in a pristine vase. I noticed small withdrawals from our joint account. $100 here, $200 there. Nothing alarming at first. Maybe Joon-ho bought lunch for his colleagues, I'd tell myself, smoothing away the faint wrinkle of worry forming between my brows. We were saving diligently for a down payment on a bigger place, a real house with a garden. Every penny counted. But these little slips, they added up. Then came the bank statement. That thick, unforgiving envelope arrived one mundane Tuesday morning. I remember making coffee, humming a happy tune, completely oblivious. Sipping my coffee, I opened it casually, expecting just the usual figures. But my eyes snagged on a number. A large number. Several large numbers, actually. Thousands of dollars transferred out in chunks over the past few months. Labeled simply as withdrawal. No explanation. No note. Just gone. My heart started to hammer against my ribs. I reread the statement, thinking I must be mistaken. Maybe it was an error? A glitch in the system? But no, the number stared back at me, cold and undeniable. Where had all this money gone? And why hadn't Joon-ho said anything? A chill snaked down my spine, a feeling so foreign in our sunny yellow apartment. It felt like an intruder. I told myself, don't jump to conclusions, Yoon. There's a logical explanation. But even as I said it, a knot of ice began to form in my stomach. The dream, it was starting to feel very, very cold. I confronted Joon-ho that evening. I tried to keep my voice calm, reasonable. Honey, I started, holding out the bank statement, my hand trembling slightly. Can you explain these withdrawals? Large withdrawals. Thousands of dollars. He looked at the statement, his eyes widening in what I initially thought was surprise. But now, looking back, it was something else. Something like carefully constructed innocence. Oh, those, he said, a little too quickly, a little too casually. Just, some investments. For our future. Investments. I repeated, my voice rising despite myself. Thousands of dollars, Joon-ho? Without discussing it with me? Our joint savings? What kind of investments? He became evasive, his eyes darting away from mine. Just safe ones. Trust me, Yoonji. It's complicated. You wouldn't understand. Complicated? Since when was financial transparency in a marriage complicated? Alarm bells were ringing in my head, deafening now. Then came the phone calls. He started taking calls in hushed tones, stepping out onto the balcony, his voice lowered, his back to me. When I asked who was calling, he'd shrug, just work. Or a friend. But his eyes held a guarded look, a flicker of something I couldn't quite decipher, something secretive. And the withdrawals continued. Larger now, more frequent. The bank statement became a monthly horror show. Our dream house fund was dwindling, vanishing like mist in the morning sun. I started digging. Subtly at first. Checking his phone, his emails. Things I never thought I'd do. The guilt gnawed at me, but the fear was stronger. And then I found it. Buried in his email drafts, a half-written message. Father, I sent the money as promised. Is it enough for this month? Unji is starting to ask questions, it's getting difficult to hide. Father. My husband's father. My blood ran cold. It wasn't investments. It wasn't a friend. It was his parents. He was sending thousands of dollars to his parents behind my back without a word to me. Betrayal. The word echoed in my mind, a hollow, sickening thud. I remembered his mother's sweet smile, her gentle voice when we visited them. Unji dear, you're such a blessing to our Joon-ho. Blessing? Or a fool to be bled dry? Paranoia started to creep in. Were they all in on it? His parents, smiling and gracious to my face, while secretly draining our savings. Was Joon-ho just a puppet in their game? Or was he a willing participant lying to my face, stealing from our future? The yellow walls of our apartment seemed to close in, the sunshine feeling like a cruel mockery. I was trapped. Trapped in a beautiful lie, suffocating under the weight of deception. My voice, my questions, my concerns, they were all being systematically erased, rendered insignificant. I was becoming invisible in my own life, a ghost haunting the edges of my own marriage. The breaking point came on our anniversary. Our third anniversary. Joon-ho had planned a fancy dinner, a romantic evening. The irony was so thick it choked me. I couldn't play along anymore. I couldn't smile and pretend everything was perfect while our savings were being siphoned away, while my trust was being shattered into a million pieces. Joon-ho, I said, my voice trembling but firm. We need to talk. About the money. He stiffened, his forced smile faltering. Unji, not tonight. It's our anniversary. Let's just enjoy ourselves. No, I insisted, my voice rising. Tonight. No. I know about your parents. I know you've been sending them money. Thousands of dollars. Our money. Why? He finally cracked. The facade of innocence crumbled, replaced by a look of defiance, of resentment. Because they need it, he exploded, his voice echoing in the suddenly silent restaurant. Because they're my parents. I have a responsibility to them. And what about your responsibility to me? I shot back, tears stinging my eyes. What about our future? We were saving for a house. For a family. And you've been secretly emptying our account to support your parents without even telling me. They helped me get where I am today, he yelled, ignoring the shocked stares of other diners. They sacrificed everything for me. Is it so wrong for me to help them now that they're struggling? Struggling. I scoffed, the word tasting like ash in my mouth. Joon-ho, your father owns a building. Your mother wears designer clothes. Struggling is not the word I'd use. They're not struggling, they're taking advantage of you. And you're letting them. You're letting them destroy us. The truth, raw and ugly, spilled out between us, shattering the romantic ambience, the carefully constructed illusion of our perfect marriage. Years of suppressed frustration, of unspoken resentments, erupted in a torrent of accusations and recriminations. He accused me of being selfish, of not understanding family obligations, of being too Americanized. I accused him of being weak, of being a liar, of choosing his parents over his own wife. In that moment I saw him clearly for the first time. Not the man I thought I knew, the man I had built my dreams with. But a man trapped, controlled, manipulated by his family, unable to break free. And I was just collateral damage. A means to an end. The devastating truth crashed over me, wave after wave, drowning me in despair. My breaking point. Not just of anger but of utter, heart-wrenching disillusionment. Everything I thought we had, everything I believed in, it was all a lie. The dinner ended abruptly in silence and tears. I went home, packed a bag. I couldn't stay. Not another night. The yellow walls felt like prison bars now, the sunshine mocking my shattered hopes. I was leaving. Escaping this suffocating web of lies and betrayal. I wrote him a letter, pouring out my pain, my anger, my utter devastation. I told him I couldn't live like this, constantly second-guessing, constantly feeling betrayed. I told him I needed to find myself again, away from the suffocating influence of his family, away from the lies. I left the letter on the kitchen counter next to my wedding ring. Final silent statement. I booked a flight back to my parents' place. A small town far away from the city, from Joon-ho, from everything. As I waited at the airport, a sliver of hope flickered within me. Maybe this was it. Maybe this was my escape. Maybe I could rebuild my life, piece by piece, away from the ruins of my marriage. Then my phone vibrated. A text message from Joon-ho. Just one line. Uni, please come back. Father is in the hospital. It's serious. My heart sank. Manipulation. Even now. Even in this moment of supposed crisis, they were still trying to control me. But, a flicker of doubt. What if it was true? What if his father really was sick? Guilt warred with anger, confusion with betrayal. I called my mother-in-law. Her voice was weak, trembling. Uni, please come. Your husband needs you. My husband, it's his heart. The stress, all the financial worries, it was too much. Financial worries? Stress. Because of all the money we had been sending them? Or because the money had stopped? Then she said something that froze the blood in my veins. He kept saying, Joon-ho, you have to keep sending the money. We need to keep up appearances. What will the relatives think? What will people say if they know we're not as wealthy as they think? Keep up appearances. It wasn't about need. It wasn't about family obligation. It was about pride. About ego. About maintaining a false image of wealth and success. And my marriage, my happiness, my future. It was all just a pawn in their twisted game. A game played with money, manipulation, and lies. And the chilling realization, it wasn't over. It would never be over. Even if I escaped, the shadow of their greed, their manipulation would forever haunt me. And Joon-ho, he was still trapped. And perhaps in a way so was I. The escape, it was just another illusion. The nightmare, it was only